and welcome to the show.
We have lots of horror
Today. We want to talk about 2024 and some of our most anticipated films, series, etc. of the year. But I think it might be important to mention that one has already passed. This movie called Night Swim was something we were both looking forward to.
Yeah, and I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, it's Blumhouse and James Wan, and
so I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I don't want to throw this guy under the bus because I don't know him, but I know that it's a first-time director, Bryce McGuire. The movie started as a low-budget 5-minute short.
Yeah,
and which is not a problem.
No.
That actually a lot of really good films come from that. And then James Wan ended up buying the. He's like, hey, let's make this into something big, and then they get this guy to direct it. And I heard it's just.
Yeah, I have not heard good things. I have not seen it yet. So as we go throughout the spring, we are going to be doing episodes where we do sort of like roundups. It's a version of our old Shrink Chat show where we're going to watch stuff and shitty chat about it. Series.
I thought you said shitty chat.
Yeah.
Well, if they're shit, it could be a shitty chat.
Absolutely. We could talk about all the shit and the Shinola.
Do you want a real quick horror fact with Kath?
Okay.
The 5-minute short, The Waterman, that's what it was called. It was filmed in the backyard of Michelle Branch.
Oh,
how random is that?
That's super random.
Yeah.
All right. Fun fact. I've heard that it's called Night Swim and there's nothing that explicates why it's called Night Swim. Like it happens in the day as well. And there's nothing specific about the night swim. I don't know. I haven't heard good things. I've heard boring things. But again, when we have an episode where we do a roundup of what we've been watching, we'll revisit possibly. Because I do want to see it and make my own opinion.
Here's what I think we should do.
What?
I think we should have an episode where we talk about this one and we talk about Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Because I'm hearing similar things about Thanksgiving where it's like, yeah, it's fun.
It is fun.
Right? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, you have to see it.
I know, but I want to talk about that with you.
All right. Well, that's what the Shrink Chat shows are for, is to talk about all the shit and Shinola.
Just saying.
Because you haven't seen it yet, so
I'm
I'm not seeing the correlation.
I'm hearing things about both of these movies is what I'm saying.
Yeah. We're missing our talk about movies shows, but they're coming. We're going to do one about once a month or once every 6 weeks where we kind of watch all the things we watch and then we take notes and then we save them up as opposed to doing it every week. So we will definitely talk about that, Kathy.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Do you want to tell us what movie you are not looking forward to?
The remake of The Crow.
Oh, I know.
Come on.
I want it to be so good.
No, leave it alone. Let Brandon Lee rest in peace. Just leave it. Leave it.
Yeah, I understand. I'm very torn. I know it's not going to be good. I mean, I've already decided. I'm not even giving them a chance, which is terrible.
The Crow was one of the best comic 90s
mythology
ever.
But Bill Skarsgård is cast.
I know. And I love him. It's separate from how great he will probably play that role.
I know.
He was great as Pennywise.
I would love to be wrong, but I just can't see it happening because The Crow had a 90s vibes to it.
It did.
It was just so specific
the soundtrack,
to the cultural time.
The song by The Cure when he's putting his makeup on in the mirror. No, just leave it.
Well, my thought process around it is that the original Crow is the original Crow, and it's always going to be that thing that it was. And so we'll just see. I mean, I will just see because I will watch it because I won't be able to look away.
I know, and I think here's where I love Bill Skarsgård, and I think he's one of the best villain character actors of our time. I think he's really good. I just hope that he keeps the stoicism though of that character, and he's not too big because The Crow was very subtle.
Very subtle. Yeah, it was a very goth type of thing where
Subdued.
Everything was inside.
Yeah.
with white makeup and
I know he's
black
capable of that.
eyeliner.
Do you know who's directing this?
I don't know.
Because that'll have a big
Huge impact on it.
of what they want him to do with that role.
Good to know. Let's see, what do I not want them to do that they're doing? Well, they're doing a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2.
No.
So
I wouldn't even watch the first one.
I
can't take that level of innocence and fuck it up.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing innocent about that
know.
movie. It's all gore.
I know. But it's Winnie the Pooh. Leave him alone.
Okay.
That'd be like if they did a horror movie with Snoopy. I'd just
I
be
understand.
beside myself.
I understand. I actually I watched that movie, and the gore and the kills were off the chain, and it's not a good movie, but it didn't rub me the wrong way in that way that I thought it might, because just the way they've constructed it.
Sure. They're doing it with Mickey Mouse too.
There's just like no conflation between it's just not even, it doesn't even have anything to do with actual Winnie the Pooh, but it is based in the trauma around it was
Christopher Robin.
Yes. So that was
so we have to make a second one.
Yeah, because it was cult popular, so that's what they do. Okay, so now I'm also going to mention this year actually has a lot of original horror coming out that I'm interested in, but of course we have a couple of remakes, but I'm going to mention a bunch of remakes right now, just rapid fire while we're talking about this before we get into the ones we really care about, because they don't have set dates. So I don't know if they're going to come out this year or next year or whatever, but I did want to throw them out there. They're doing a remake of the 1986 movie Witchboard. Which she's crying.
I'm so mad.
A reimagining of the 1986 classic where college kids with a Ouija board fuck around and find out. It's going to star Jamie Campbell Bower from Stranger Things, Madison Iseman from Hannibal from Annabelle Comes Home, and directed by Chuck Russell, who did The Mask and The Blob and a couple of other things.
Well, fine. But did we not learn how bad the remake of Black Christmas was?
Yeah. So we're doing Witchboard. We're also doing The Crow, as you mentioned. We're also doing The Strangers, a remake of The Strangers.
Already?
They're doing a 3-part of it. The first one is coming out this year, I believe. They're doing this one makes no sense to me. Their Speak No Evil is a movie that came out like last year, 2022, I think. And it's a Scandinavian movie, and it was so it was a 2022 Danish movie, Speak No Evil, and they're doing a remake of it. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, it was so good. What are you doing? All right. They're also the Toxic Avenger.
That I knew.
One of the greatest cult classics of all time. And Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, Jacob Tremblay, and Peter Dinklage.
Great.
So, should be interesting. But I wanted to mention all of those.
Aren't they redoing Salem's Lot too? They
are.
Yeah. They do. Yeah. They redo that one a lot though.
They've been talking about that one for a long time, and it still doesn't have a date. So I'm not hopeful, but I did want to mention those ones because they don't have dates.
Cool.
All right. So what's the first one? I don't know that you're really looking forward to.
The first one is the most obvious for those listeners who know me, and for Ice is Terrifier 3.
Yeah, not coming out till the end of the year.
October 25th.
Yeah.
It's in my schedule. Directed by Damien Leone. It's going to take off really at the tail end of 2. So Lauren Lavera, Elliot Fulham, and David Howard Thornton again as our terrifying Art the Clown. It's going to reprise the roles from the second one, which I like. It's not going to be a whole new movie. It's going to reintroduce the possessed survivor Victoria, which I thought was kind of, if you've seen 2, kind of a cool ending. Victoria Hayes in a more prominent role in this series. This dude has become one of my favorite villains. I know it's in the name, he's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And not only do I appreciate how terrifying these movies are, I think they're actually really well done.
Good.
So
Well, I know they're very extreme.
They're very extreme, but I also think, especially after Terrifier 2, the character development was really good in that movie, especially for the leads, which is why I think there was enough there to reprise the roles versus just making Art the Clown the center, which is fine. We've done that with Jason. We've done that with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to pull in characters from the other films tells you that, yeah, we got kind of attached to those folks, and horror doesn't always do that. So
No, it really doesn't. It's your new Michael.
he's awesome. I love this dude. So the poster is great. It's super scary and fun and funny because, you know, he does have a sense of humor too. He
Sure.
just plays this role so well. I dig David Howard Thornton. He's fucking terrifying. And I hope one of these days, David, if you're listening to our podcast, because I'm quite sure you are, that you will be at Monsterpalooza or Midnight Summer Scream so I can meet you.
That would be great. I hope he does. One of the first things here in January that I'm looking forward to is, and if you listen to our little Patreon clips, you might have heard me talk about it. And last week I do a thing every month where I talk about what's coming up that month. So if you heard a little snippet of the Patreon clip last week or this week, whenever it came out, you might have heard me talk about it, but I'm pretty excited for the new season of True Detective because Jodie Foster is one of the main characters
That's
in that.
awesome.
So they're doing a True Detective with 2 women detectives, and I'm excited about that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm also really interested in some of the things that are going to be coming out of Sundance this year.
I'll be interested to hear what you come back with.
Yeah, I know that Pedro Pascal is in a movie, and I love him.
Oh, I love him.
And Kristen Stewart is in a movie, and I love her. And there's a bunch of interesting, wacky, weird movies that are going to be there. So I'm looking forward to that. And the other January one I wanted to mention within this episode is there is a movie that is coming out. Well, it's already out now by the time you're hearing this, but on the 9th, it's going to be a video on demand or Apple TV, and it's called They Turned Us Into Killers. And the reason why I mention it is because Kane Hodder is in it.
Yay!
So I just thought I'd mention that one for the old January. But I'm going to go, I already went into detail about all this stuff in January for the Patreon, and you probably heard a clip too, but
Yeah.
and then I'll mention February. There's a movie called Lisa Frankenstein coming out.
That's on my list.
Is it on your list?
Yeah, I have been waiting
Talk about it then, yeah.
for this. Diablo Cody
Yes.
and Zelda Williams.
yes.
So, synopsis. In 1989, a misunderstood teenage goth girl named Lisa Swallows reanimates a handsome corpse from the Victorian era during a lightning storm and starts to rebuild him into the man of her dreams by using a broken tanning machine in her garage, which I fucking love.
I mean, of course.
After going through a playfully horrific transformation, the romantic duo embark on a murderous journey to find true love, happiness, and a few missing body parts along the way. Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse. I am so excited for this, mostly because I just love Diablo Cody so much.
Well, and it's a horror comedy set in the 80s.
Yes.
So
Well, there's that.
it's a rage love story.
I've much anticipated, and Carla Gugino's in it too, so love her.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I have a feeling it's going to be ridiculous, but
Oh, it is.
I'm also really looking forward to
It's
it
gonna
anyway.
be so ridiculous.
All right, so I do want to see the first Omen in April.
Okay.
When a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, she encounters a darkness that causes her to question her own faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. Directed by Arkasha Stevenson, the current plot synopsis doesn't really give much away, but it is supposed to be a prequel to The Omen, and it's supposed to come out April 5th, at least the story I read. They change the shit all the time. Any date we mention in this episode is tentative because they change the things all the time. So don't take it as gospel, but it's supposed to be this story that revolves around a young woman attempting to stop, quote unquote, the birth of evil incarnate. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many omens. I will see it
I just like those movies about that topic, and I know you do. I'm always open to it being good. I don't have any hopes about it being good, but
you're always open to the Omen. I have one I'm curious about. Shana Shyamalan. Her movie The Watchers is coming out supposedly in June. I think it sounds kind of cool. It follows Mina, a 28-year-old artist, as she gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland. After finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers stalked by mysterious creatures at night. So it sounds like it's an isolation, supernatural horror, which I can get on board with. And I just kind of want to see what she's learned from Pops.
Yeah, in case you didn't catch that, that's his daughter, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and this is her debut. So Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, and man, she, after The Alienist, I'm like, okay, I'm a fan.
Yeah, and the Georgina Campbell from Barbarian.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good cast.
And it's based on a book, a really, really popular book. So we can only hope that the apple does not fall far from the tree. Another one I definitely want to mention is this Untitled monster movie. This is supposed to be a horror feature that is in the vein of recent Universal films like Lee Whannell's The Invisible Man, Nicolas Cage Renfield, with this like monster love, right? Mm-hmm. And it's this where we celebrate these like classic characters, and it's supposed to come out in April, but like the plot details are being kept, in a bunker underneath the earth or whatever, nobody kind of knows. At one point it was called Dracula's Daughter, so maybe that gives us a little bit of a thing. The project centered on a group of kidnappers who abducted a band of young people, one of whom ends up being the character, Dracula's daughter, or Dracula, I guess. And then guess what happens to the kidnappers? Like revenge, monster revenge, whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if that's still what it is. But I'm just excited about it because if that's the vibes we're getting they call it Radio Silence Untitled Monster Movie, and it's supposed to come out in April. And that the mystery around that, but also just the things they've leaked of the things I've mentioned, like that just sounds awesome.
That's awesome.
Whatever it is. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm also looking forward to Return to Silent Hill.
I am too.
And we've scheduled a Silent Hill episode so that we have to watch the other ones before this one comes out.
Sweet. Well, I'll be happy about that. I don't know if this is going to be a popular opinion, which I'm fine with because a lot of my movies are probably not popular opinions, but I'm actually really looking forward to the new Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I know this is a movie that's been made a lot of times. And again, Bill Skarsgård's playing Count Orlok, so I think that's really cool. And, we have Willem Dafoe again. He played the actor who was the original Nosferatu in a movie called Shadow the Vampire that came out years ago. So this will be his second time in a movie about Nosferatu, except now he's actually in the film. Mm-hmm. Willem Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult, who I love, and then Lily Rose Depp. That's our cast. Mm-hmm. Directed by Robert Eggers. And I don't know. I being a huge classic horror fan, and this being really a lot of our origins of Dracula in film, and Bill Skarsgård playing the lead role. I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff this year.
And see, this is the type of role because Count Orlok is very expressive and he's quite a character. He's animated. I feel like this is really a good pick for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too. Mm-hmm. I never get sick of the Dracula stuff. No. And there's been a ton of it, and there'll be ton more in 2024, it sounds like. So I'm also looking forward to M. Night Shyamalan's movie Trap.
Yeah. There's not much on it though, huh?
No, not too much. It's confirmed that there hasn't been that it's like a psychological thriller. That's kind of what we know. But he also tends towards psychological thrillers. Like a lot of his stuff is horrifying in concept, but kind of plays out like a more of a thriller or a psychological fuck you type of thing. It's supposed to be set at a concert. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see. It's supposed to be called Trap, and it's supposed to come out on August 2nd. So we shall see. I'm also, of course, looking forward to Alien Romulus, which is supposed to come out August 16th. So this is the 7th installment in the Alien universe. We did a episode on the Alien stuff as a kickoff, I think, to this season. So
it's a prequel, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I know I kind of left that one for you. I haven't looked too much at it, but I know we'll watch it and we'll have opinions on it.
We will watch it. We will have opinions. The plot details aren't out there. It's Disney 20th Century Fox, so a big budget. I've seen bits and pieces of different things, and we'll just see. I love the Alien movies. There's something of value in most of them. Even the ones that were shot in the 90s. I'm looking forward to it no matter what. And I'm, of course, looking forward to Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, God. Do we have a release date on that yet? I'm so excited for that.
It says September 6th.
Okay.
So it'll be in the season,
Yeah, I'm stoked for that. There's a couple I'm curious about. Curious and / kind of excited because I haven't seen her for a while is Never Let Go with Halle Berry.
Yeah, I'm interested. There's no release date on that.
I don't think so, but it's about a family that's been haunted by evil spirits for years. Their safety and their surroundings come into question when one of the children questions if the evil is real. I just miss her.
I do too, and it's directed by Alexander Ahi too. So I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, there's no date. So when there's no date, I'm always
it's
a little
tough.
bit
like, will it come out?
Yeah, will it come out this year is sort of my question.
I wanted to ask you whether you were curious about Longlegs.
About which?
Longlegs with Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, when is that coming out?
I don't know, but this looks. I'm not sure if there's a release date on it, but I just love how just out of his mind he is. And I'm hearing some kind of fun.
Well, and Micah Monroe. Well, Micah Monroe is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like her.
Yeah. So if people don't know what it is, it's Lee Harker, a talented new FBI agent, has been assigned to an unsolved case of a serial killer. As the investigation becomes more complicated and occult evidence is uncovered, Harker realizes a personal link to the ruthless killer and must act quickly to prevent another family murder. And Cage plays the serial killer.
I just love him.
I do. I mean, have you seen pictures of him in this?
Yeah.
God, I love him. I loved, again, against, I don't know, maybe it wasn't against popular opinion, but I loved, what's the one he did this past year? Renfield.
Me too. We had it on our list of
so good
movies when we talked about everything from 2023. It was on there. It was on my list. I'm also very curious to see what they do with Smile 2.
I know.
Because I liked Smile.
It's so depressing, though.
Yes, but it's so psychological.
I know, but it's so depressing.
I liked it.
It was not bad. I'm not saying it was that good that I was mad at it for being that good.
Yeah, so October 18th, Smile 2. There's a bunch of people reprising their roles in it, and so we'll just see what happens to them. It's so fucked up. I don't know what to think. And I also want to know what Jordan Peele's doing his fourth horror movie that's going to come out December 24th, hypothetically. So of course it's a mystery, but we all know his track record. So we'll just see what happens with that.
I like Mads Mikkelsen, so I'm interested in Dust Bunny that's coming out. There isn't a release date for it. It's directed by Brian Fuller, but it looks like and Sigourney Weaver's in it too. An 8-year-old girl asks her scheming neighbor for help in killing the monster under her bed that she thinks ate her family.
Sounds perky.
But Mads Mikkelsen and Sigourney Weaver.
I know.
Awesome.
That's a dream team right there.
Yeah.
I love both of them.
So there's no date on it, so we'll see.
Right. And we are cruising into A24's MaXXXine, Ty West, the end of the horror trilogy that has Mia Goth, Kathy's favorite as a psychopath.
I do love her, though.
I know you do.
I love her that much that I want to see her do more. That's all.
I know, but in this is this role.
I know.
And so this is what she'll be doing. But it's set in the 80s, Kathy.
Oh,
this one.
Not the 70s?
The 80s. Kevin Bacon, Mia Goth.
Oh, I'll see it. I like the franchise.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It could be.
If it's 80s, I'm there.
It's the 80s in LA.
Oh my God.
Because, she continues her journey to become a famous actress.
Of
That's
course.
kind of what we've been setting up this whole time. So we'll see. And then The Conjuring, of course, has a new movie coming out. The Conjuring Universe Last Rites. I'm thinking this is going to be a 2025 because they're still in pre-production. So I don't see how they get it together. But, if they rush it, which I would not want them to do. So hopefully they're going to take their time and that will end up being a 2025 movie. Let me see if there's anything else. A Quiet Place Day 1 is coming out.
That's the prequel, right?
In June. Yeah. My worry about that, of course, I'm not actually worried.
She's losing sleep, folks.
It's a prequel to the first 2 installments. It's set the day after the alien monsters begin tormenting humanity. I do like a end of days, like day 1 kind of story, like when the thing hits, as opposed to, 5 years later where everyone's living in it, which is what the other movies were like. This is what happened when it actually started. And that's always very dramatic. It's very tense for me, meaning I like it, but I don't like it. I don't like watching the day 1 stuff, but it's, that part of it should be at least dramatic. And it's also Michael Sarnowski, who directed the movie Pig with Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
And that was a great flick. So,
Well, and I also am happy to have John Krasinski back.
I don't think he's producing.
Oh,
he's not
in
writing
it?
or directing.
But he's not in it?
Mm-mm.
Even
Not
though
that
it's
I
a
know
prequel?
of.
Oh, I thought
Not that
he
I
would
know
be.
of.
Okay.
He's producing. He's not writing or directing. I don't know if he's in it. He's not mentioned in any of the stuff I read.
Interesting.
It's Lupita.
Oh,
She's
so it's
in
a
this one.
totally okay. So it has nothing to do with the Abbott family.
Not that I know of. No, this is day 1. We haven't even met any. of
I
them
like
yet.
her though.
And Stranger Things, Joseph Quinn.
Gotcha.
Alex Wolff, Lupita.
Cool. Okay.
Good director, great actors. Could be really dramatic and good. Not sure. Do you have any more facts? Do you have anything to close us out with?
A dance. A dance and a cough.
I think that's about it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of other originals that I have on my list, but we can do those in the monthlies along the way because dates change and things. But those are some of the bigger ones, the bigger directors, bigger budgets, all of that. I mentioned a couple low budget ones. Another year. It's exciting to start the year. We also have a book club in our Patreon, so I'm excited for the new year of books. That's always super fun. And we hope that you'll come along with us and give us any of your suggestions of what you think you're looking forward to, or along the way, if there's anything you want us to talk about, right?
Right.
This has been an episode of Terror Talk. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Kathy. Sleep safe, everyone.